Let's take a look at how the key issues in cognitive psychology play out in the context of research on attention. The locus of selection question asks whether attention operates in sensory systems or at higher levels, such as working memory. The answer is that the locus of selection is actually flexible, and attention can operate at either early or late stages depending on which stages are overloaded by the stimuli and task. Research on attention often focuses on limits on human abilities. A good example of this is the attentional blink task. While attention is focused on the first target, subjects are unable to detect the second target. This is a limit on the ability of people to do two things at the same time. More generally, humans are often limited to doing one thing at a time for things that are not automatic. For something to become automatic, you need consistent mapping of stimuli to responses so that you can retrieve the correct response from memory when a given stimulus occurs. Just like every time I see this scene when I'm riding my bike, it triggers a memory for turning left. Research on attention is also very much concerned with the format of our representations. For example, feature integration theory proposes that the different features of an object are represented in separate feature maps, and that attention allows the features to be combined into an object file, which is a special kind of representation. Attention research also focuses on the processing steps involved in a variety of different tasks. For example, feature integration theory proposes that visual search tasks are done in parallel when the target is defined by the presence of a simple feature, whereas attention shifts in serial from object to object when the target is defined by a conjunction of features. A great deal of cognitive neuroscience research looks at the neural systems that underlie attention. For example, ERPs, neuroimaging, and single-unit recordings have been used to determine the brain systems in which attention influences the processing of visual stimuli, and lesion studies have shown the importance of the parietal lobes in the control of attention. There's also a lot of research looking at individual differences in attention among healthy adults and at the development of attention in infancy and childhood. We didn't have a chance to cover any of that research here, but we did talk about impairments in attention in people with parietal lobe damage and in schizophrenia patients. For example, a lesion in the right parietal lobe leads to neglect of the left side of space. Attention deficits in people with schizophrenia are more subtle, but schizophrenia appears to produce impairments in the ability to distribute attention broadly. There are lots and lots of real-world applications of research on attention. For example, some very interesting research looks at how driving performance is impaired when people divide attention between the task of driving and the task of talking on a cell phone. There's also a lot of interest in methods for improving attention. For example, a researcher at the Center for Mind and Brain, Cliff Saron, is looking at the effects of intensive meditation training on the ability of people to focus attention. If you're interested in reading about some of his results, you can take a look at this website.